In August 2024, a private jet landed in Paris. French police were waiting. Within days, tech billionaire Pavel Durov was indicted on 12 serious charges. French prosecutors stated that the National Gendarmerie sent Telegram over 2,400 requests regarding severe criminal cases and received almost no response. Then, months later, Russia's own intelligence service, the FSB, opened an investigation into Durov, but they weren't accusing him of ignoring the state. Russian officials claimed NATO countries and Ukraine were using his platform to organize sabotage and unrest inside Russia. France arrested him for not cooperating enough with the government. Russia investigated him because the platform was successfully being used against the government. Two global superpowers, on opposite sides of nearly every geopolitical conflict, both decided that a single app was an active threat to their security. To understand how that happened, we must look at the code and the man who wrote it. Pavel Durov is a Russian-born tech billionaire. Before Telegram, he built vKontakte, which quickly became Russia's largest social network. The scale of his success in the region regularly earned him a specific title in the media, the Mark Zuckerberg of Russia. But in 2014, Russian authorities demanded that he hand over the data of opposition activists using his platform. Durov completely refused. He left the country and built a new communication tool to flatly reject government data requests. That absolute refusal to hand over user information became Telegram's defining feature. It made Durov a hero to activists globally and practically guaranteed a collision course with the world's most powerful states. Telegram allows channels to host up to 200,000 members and broadcast groups that can reach millions instantly. Combined with minimal moderation, these tools allow vast networks to organize quickly and quietly. When regimes attempt to shut down communication channels and isolate citizens, these features become a lifeline. During massive protests in Belarus, activists relied almost entirely on Telegram to coordinate movements when state media went dark. The same pattern repeated in Iran. Dissidents used the app's encrypted channels to share information and organize demonstrations under heavy state surveillance. Governments responded aggressively. China and Iran blocked the platform entirely, treating the encrypted space as a direct challenge to their authority. Russia tried to ban it in 2018 after Durov refused to hand over encryption keys, and later reblocked it during broader crackdowns. Authoritarian states attack Telegram because its architecture directly neutralizes their ability to monitor speech and crush political dissent. The same wall that protects an activist in Tehran protects everything else. Investigators and crypto crime analysts now calculate that Telegram is propping up a $442 billion criminal economy. This economy operates in plain sight through guarantee markets. These are functioning advertised marketplaces right on the app, where buyers purchase stolen data, AI deepfake fools, and services tied to human trafficking. This chart maps the resilience of those networks. When Telegram bans one of these markets, another simply rises to take its place within weeks, often processing 70 times the previous financial volume. The financial plumbing relies on two massive entities. Telegram provides the marketplace infrastructure, and a separate company, Tether, provides the payment rails. Together, they form a foundational pillar of modern organized crime. The problem has grown far beyond standard content moderation. Those digital billions trace directly to physical locations. Industrial-scale fraud operations spread across Southeast Asia, primarily heavily guarded compounds in Myanmar. Inside, investigators estimate 300,000 trafficked victims are held against their will, forced to run online scams. The most lucrative of these schemes is known as pig butchering. Fraudsters pose as romantic partners or friends, spending weeks building deep emotional trust with a victim before convincing them to pour their life savings into fake investment platforms. In 2025 alone, the FBI recorded over $11 billion in cryptocurrency fraud losses across the United States. Investigators note that a massive share of those losses started with a single Telegram message. The U.S. Department of Justice has actively moved against these networks, recently seizing over $700 million in crypto and dismantling Telegram channels used to recruit trafficking victims with fake job offers. Democratic regulators are restricting Telegram to disrupt the financial networks and human exploitation compounds flourishing in its unmonitored channels. Telegram points out that it bans tens of thousands of malicious channels every single day. Pavel Durov frames nearly every government crackdown as an aggressive attack on privacy and free expression. For a citizen living under a dictatorship, that defense carries absolute weight. The platform genuinely protects the powerless against the powerful. This diagram illustrates the fatal structural flaw in their moderation strategy. Banning channels creates a whack-a-mole dynamic. Deleting single nodes is completely ineffective against organized, well-funded criminal networks operating at a billion-dollar scale. You cannot build a communication tool with a total lack of oversight to protect dissidents without inherently building an unmonitored safe haven for human traffickers. Telegram has spent a decade trying to have it both ways. Now governments around the world are paralyzed. They are locked in an argument over whether the protection of absolute liberty outweighs the facilitation of a sprawling, unchecked criminal economy. The massive, ongoing legal battles facing Pavel Durov in France and Russia will define the limits of global digital sovereignty. His fate determines exactly how much power one single piece of software can hold over global money, information, and crime.